right. I brought a notebook. I even have a pen. I'm ready.
Beautiful.
We're the school of Bullet Mercenary today. Do you even look at the analysis of your games? Like,
no. Yeah. So one of the things I'm going to mention here in Bullet, don't bother analyzing your game.
This isn't like real, right?
Don't bother analyzing the game. So I have a few guidelines here on my thing. The first thing is just your settings. Just want to make sure you have the right settings for Bullet. And so if you
cool. We should start there. Yeah, settings.
So if you go to your cog in this section there.
I guess that's board.
Yeah, so on the board, I want to make sure you have sound on. The sound is on, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, sound is on. So that's very important, and I'll get to that.
This is key. You need to hear it. Okay.
Right, because it's good to hear. And I believe your auditory stimulus is quicker than your visual stimulus, right? It's like a few milliseconds on average.
Okay.
And so what the sound is going to do is going to give you the prompt that a move has been played. And so you don't have to necessarily react what's happened on the board, but thinking about, okay, a move has been played from their end. You're not worried about your sound of you making a move, but it's the sound of them making a move. And then that should give you the cue, your turn, right? So sound on, also important. Now, if you go to the play section, do you have
I was like,
pre-moves on? Is pre-moves
played
on?
for pre-moves?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I do have pre-moves on because I have maybe blundered a couple pre-moves before.
Okay, so pre-moves, you definitely want to keep that on.
I don't even know how to look at those settings.
Is it pre-moves not on?
They're definitely on. We don't need to worry about it.
And is auto promote to a queen on?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then
wait, no, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not
I turned
on.
that off one time because I was like, well, what if I ever want to get clever?
All right.
Here, let's just look at my home account because I don't know how to figure that out. Boards and pieces?
Yeah, so if you go to, the little... sorry. If you go to, just go back to the, I guess that works.
Settings. Play settings.
I'm thinking it from, like, if you go back to the main live chess section where you were before.
Yeah, okay. Always promote to queen.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And then do I need like there's no speed stuff or anything. Everything's the same,
Yes, animation type should be none, but I think you have that on default. I just took a peek.
Drag pieces. Yeah? All right. Good. I got this.
Right.
We got this.
All right, so step 1 is complete.
Yes, cool. All right.
And so number 2, this one might be a little tricky, but I think you'll bear with it because it's 1 minute game. But just for you, I wrote down avoid looking at chat during the game. I think you're gonna have enough time
I don't think I
concentrating.
looked at chat at all.
But one of those things, we'll pause in between games so you can have a chance to take a look at chat and catch up. You know. So I'd say that's rule number 3. Just looking at your last game there.
Yeah.
We don't want to spend more than 5 seconds for a move.
Okay.
All right, and so 5 seconds should be your benchmark. Obviously, it's difficult to gauge and actually see how quickly this is. Then that's okay. Just you keep on keeping on, not worrying about the pieces that are hanging. Worry about what you can see, which leads me to rule number 4. When you have 10 seconds or less, this is when you start doing the pre-moves. You don't necessarily care what they are going to do. You
just like any move, 1 move at a time. So it's like
your next move. For instance, you could have pre-moved here, moving your king to b1. It does nothing, but you could have just pre-moved after he did something. And next move, as he takes the pawn, you pre-moved your king to a1. Just make any move under 10 seconds and try to pre-move it as quickly as possible. Find checks. With under 15 seconds.
Checks first.
Checks in general are good, but finding checks with low time control is of utmost important, because a check forces the opponent to react to the move. And so if you can find out where the king is exposed to at all times, you definitely want to take advantage of that. And so, for instance, one of the things,
force moves being better, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I did eventually on move 16 come up with that, and then I stole a pawn after because I didn't really know what to do next.
Yes. And so here is maybe a second follow-up to that check. So so if you go back to move 16 where you gave bishop h5 check, you spent a move here. You spent maybe about 2 seconds on rook takes b7.
Yeah.
Right. But after you get bishop check, you should have realized that there was nothing that the king could have done other than just move out of the way. Right? So
right?
He could have, there's a small chance he would block with the queen, going queen back to g6. But for the most part, the king's going to move. And so what this gives you the opportunity to do is take advantage of that pre-move.
Okay.
Right? And so you're thinking, you give a check, he is now forced to react to your check. So you can, you know what he's going to do almost next move. He's going to move his king to one of those 3 squares. King d7, so king d8, king e7, or king f8. Right.
So then I could have gone bishop d1.
So you could, yeah, like bishop d1, that could have been an automatic pre-move, or your move that you had done, rook takes b7, could have been a pre-move as well. So taking that pawn. So I would say after checks, take advantage of pre-moves.
I see. It has to be like effective ones.
Right. And so I would say this is almost a situation where it'd be more forcing, and you can now predict what they're going to do. And this is a very so close. But this is a perfect example because this segues us to rule number 8. Or rule number 7, I guess. Rule number 7.
Oh, these pre-moves aren't so bad in Bullet, actually.
And so one thing was very close here in this game. So we were running a bit low on time at the end, and that's because he spent more than 5 seconds in one move. But
right, yes.
Rule number 7, new rule. When you're running low on time, go after the pawns. Pre-moves. Right. You want to make sure
after the pawns?
His board is clean. If we take all the material from his side of the board, the worst we can do is draw.
That's true.
I missed this piece that was hanging. You worry about the later. Homeless and Wi-Fi saying, don't worry about losing pieces. There's plenty of pieces to lose, you know. So like, just don't worry about it. That's right.
That's less pieces to worry about.
Exactly. Less pieces to blunder away.
We can blunder them all, and then we'll just only have the queen at the end, and I know what to do with the queen and the king.
There we go.
Like, that's not a problem.
And so one thing was very close here in this game. So we were running a bit low on time at the end, and that's because he spent more than 5. At the end here, on move 33.
There was only two pawns left?
Yeah, exactly. After he took that pawn on there, he should have pre-moved the next few moves, in my opinion here. So you had 3.5 seconds, and that's a pre-moves. And so
you would have just gone h2 and then h4 and then g5.
Yeah. And so how would you have sequenced that pre-move order? Like, because it doesn't matter what he does, right? Like in theory, it should matter what your plan is.
Right. Yeah, even if he's trying to gobble up my pawns, it doesn't matter. I just go from like rook a2 to h2 and then h4 and then g4, and I just take them.
Yeah. So I would make a small adjustment to that sequence, which would be h2 to h4 to h5.
h4 to h5.
And
okay.
And there's a reason why I would go to h5 rather than g4, even though equivalently they're the same. But one thing to note is that white can always push his pawn. Right?
Right.
And so by following that sequence, you're kind of going to be chasing that pawn behind it. So you're going to, if you choose to push it, you'll grab it when it goes to h5.
Right, it doesn't matter. We'll just get it in one more move.
Right, exactly. So there's that kind of sequence where you're going to pre-move that capture so they can grab it right in g4. So that's just an important, this is more of a bullet nuance specifically.
Yeah.
But this is one of those things. But equivalently, once you focus on h4, it doesn't matter if you go in g4, h5 to get g5. But from a bullet perspective, you want to make sure that you can actually grab that pawn as it pushes.
These are your secret strategies, yes.
Yeah.
This is a good one. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
okay.
One time, grab the pawns, but then this is like a nuance specifically to bullet where if you can, follow the pawn's pathing of sorts.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, sweet. I thought that was pretty good, though. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't blunder a piece in the opening, but I pre-moved a ton of that opening. You know what? In some ways, I feel like I should just hover my move. Instead of really doing it, I should just hover my move.
Over it, and if you... Yeah, that's actually a good strategy. Your next move, you plan on doing, hover over the piece, and then if it doesn't work, then you move out of it.
That's right, yeah. Can I just check? Let's solve this problem.
Yep. Check. You found a check. That's rule 5. You found a check.
Guys, this is my first successful dirty flag.
We did it. We did it. Should have also some love. Put some emotes in the chat. Let's go.
The quality of the chess doesn't matter as much as Millet. That's probably why everyone's always like, oh, that's why you should get good at chess before you just mess around. But the kind of victory that I feel right now, you cannot compare.
A good point. Latinum just said a recapture is a good pre-move. So what does that mean? If you go to move
how can you recapture? Can I move? Let's say, for example, when I went from Rook 1 to E4 to take the knight.
Yeah.
I don't know where that was. Can I just move my rook onto a square
on top of the knight? That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so my knight is on E5. Can I just like pre-move my rook onto E4?
You can.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, oh, I have to wait for this one because you have to like kind of wait 1 second. I'm just gonna turn the lights. But interesting. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a great call. So you're on your board. It would look like your rook's just hovering on top of your knight, and your things would be kind of convoluted. But
yeah,
it's a pre-move that can't go wrong, because if he doesn't take it, then you're okay, right? But if he does take it, then you're in great shape.
Oh, then the pre-move just throws itself away.
Exactly. So it's his move again, similar to on move 17. When you realize that he was taking your rook, attacking your rook with his bishop.
Yeah.
And so if you pre-move queen takes f4, like after you could take it with your bishop, so like pre-move that queen defense. Once it takes your rook, you'll be able to pre-move and capture that instantaneously.
Right, I see. Okay.
So,
okay, cool.
So I think we have this is a good list right now I have going on. I have 10 guidelines